I'm gonna I'm gonna attempt the freedom and slavery video. I'm probably gonna fuck it all up, but here goes. When you're born, you are clothed, fed, and given shelter, whatever. And since you don't really know anything, you're pretty much a slave or a servant to the order or the will of your parents. And that's fine, that's great. Although you're a slave, you're pretty much free. You don't have a care in the world. You don't have any choices to make. Everything's done for you. When it comes to judging, that's what it means to be like a child. Being curious but not judging. Now, as you get older, you're going to have to take on some decisions. You're going to have to get more and more independent. You're going to have to take on more burden, and that constitutes knowledge. The more of those choices you have to make, the harder life becomes. In the end, you become enslaved to the decisions you have to make. If you become a boss at a company, at a business somewhere, people might assume being at the top means you're free. Maybe you're rich and you live a life of luxury. What they don't realise is the amount of work put in to get there. The amount of choices that were made in the path to that height. As you reach retirement, it would have been thought that you knew quite a lot by this point in your life. Knowing what to do comes pretty much naturally to you for a life of doing it. But say, for instance, you get put in a retirement home, and suppose you're not completely inept by this point, you're probably going to resent the control over your life, what time you eat, taking meds, all the stuff that you would attribute to a monotonous existence, a slavish existence. So really, at that point, making your own decisions will seem like a freedom. So it's not really clear cut that making decisions and not making decisions is freedom or slavery, because in either case they're one and the same. What it comes down to is the knowing what to do part. Making choices is, for the most part, easy. We make choices all the time, and they're just nothing. We just do them like nothing. There are some decisions that are harder than others, but That's just part of it. Knowing what to do. How do you remove making choices, taking on burden, while knowing that you're going to have to always take on burden in this life? When you're a child, you were free. Things were done for you, but you didn't make any choices, but you knew what to do. It's the same with being a servant. Now you would think, how can being a servant be a freedom? You know, it's very, freedom is slavery, slavery is freedom, fucking communist sounding stuff. But when you're a servant, you already know what to do. There are no choices to be made. That's the most free you'll ever be. But who wants to serve a man? Who wants to serve a tyrant? That's not freedom. That is slavery in the world. The difference is, they said, be a servant to God, be God's child, and serve God, and know what to do, and have your choices made for you. But serving God can seem a lot like serving man, and they are one and the same. But can you figure out where they come together? And I think I'm done rambling.